Don't think too much about anyone. Achieve healthier soulmate love. Introduction. The person who thinks about you the most should be you. Dear beautiful soul, from the bottom of my heart, hope and wish you learn some wisdom from this lesson. Wish that the wisdom from this lesson enables you connect deeply with your soulmate love, because you deserve the best fulfilling relationships. Maybe you wish to share your wisdom or experience with us. Free to put it in the comment section. Let's continue inspiring and learning from each other. Together we can build a community of people achieving happier and more fulfilling relationships and love. Kindly subscribe and support to keep more of such Soulmate Connect. Thanks for watching. Have you ever caught yourself replaying the same conversation over and over again? You wonder why they haven't called. You analyze every text message. You imagined hundreds of different scenarios, hoping to discover what someone else is thinking about you. Hours become days. Days become weeks. Without realizing it, you have handed your peace of mind to another person. Carl Jung believed that much of human suffering comes from looking outside ourselves for answers that can only be found within. The more we become emotionally dependent on another person's attention, approval, or affection, the further we drift away from our authentic self. Ironically, this emotional dependence rarely creates lasting love. Instead, it creates anxiety. Real soulmate love grows from emotional freedom, not emotional obsession. When you stop thinking excessively about someone, you finally create space for the right person to think deeply about you. Today, we're going to explore Jung's timeless wisdom and discover how letting go of obsessive thinking can lead you toward healthier soulmate love, a fulfilling marriage, and lasting happiness. 1. Stop making someone your entire world. One of Carl Jung's greatest teachings was about becoming a complete individual. He called this process individuation, the lifelong journey of becoming your true self. Many people believe they need another person to complete them, but Jung would gently challenge this belief. He would ask, who were you before you met them? When someone becomes the center of your emotional universe, everything begins to depend on their actions. If they smile, you're happy. If they become distant, you'll feel worthless. If they don't reply, your mind creates painful stories. That is not love. That is emotional captivity. Imagine a beautiful garden. Would you plant only one flower? Of course not. A healthy garden has many flowers, different colors, different seasons, and constant growth. Your life should be the same. Your family, your dreams, your career, your health, your friendships, your faith, your hobbies. These should all continue growing, even while you're in love. A soulmate should enrich your beautiful garden, not become the entire garden itself. The healthiest marriages are built by two whole people, not two empty people trying to fill each other's emotional voids. 2. Your mind creates stories that your heart believes. Carl Jung understood the incredible power of the unconscious mind. When communication is missing, the unconscious begins creating stories. You text someone. They don't respond for 6 hours. Instead of waiting peacefully, your mind begins whispering. They don't care anymore. They found someone better. I've done something wrong. They're losing interest. Notice something. None of these are facts. They're stories, yet the body reacts as if they were true. Your heart races. Your sleep disappears. Your appetite changes. Your confidence fades. One unanswered message becomes an imagined disaster. Jung believed that until we become aware of these unconscious patterns, they control our lives. The next time your mind begins creating painful stories, pause and ask yourself, is this reality or is this my imagination? That simple question can protect your peace. Healthy soulmate love grows in reality, not in imagined fears. 3. Love should expand your life, not shrink it. One surprising sign of unhealthy attachment is that your own life becomes smaller. You stop visiting friends. You abandon hobbies. You forget your personal goals. Everything revolves around one person. Carl Jung believed every human being carries enormous potential waiting to unfold. Imagine meeting your soulmate 5 years from now. Would you rather meet them as someone who spent 5 years worrying, or someone who spent 5 years becoming wiser, healthier, kinder, more confident, and emotionally mature? Growth is attractive. Purpose is attractive. Peace is attractive. People who are deeply fulfilled naturally attract healthy relationships because they are not searching for someone to rescue them. They simply invite someone to walk beside them. A fulfilling marriage is not built by sacrificing your identity. It is built by sharing 2 meaningful lives. 4. The right person will never require you to chase your worth. Many people confuse persistence with love. They believe, if I keep trying harder, if I explain myself one more time, if I become more attractive, they'll finally choose me. Carl Jung warned against seeking validation outside ourselves. When you constantly chase someone, you quietly communicate one dangerous belief. My value depends on your approval, but your worth was never created by another person's opinion. Think about the sun. Does the sun beg anyone to notice its light? No. It simply shines. The right people naturally appreciate it. Become like the sun. Develop your character. Strengthen your confidence. Protect your peace. Your soulmate will not fall in love because you begged for attention. They'll fall in love with the authentic person you became. Healthy love is mutual. It doesn't require endless chasing. 5. Learn to enjoy solitude before seeking a soulmate. Carl Jung spent much of his life studying solitude. He believed silence allows us to meet parts of ourselves we've ignored. Many people fear being alone, so they remain in unhealthy relationships simply to avoid loneliness. But loneliness and solitude are not the same. Loneliness says, I have nobody. Solitude says, I have discovered myself. Imagine 2 people. One cannot spend one evening alone without feeling empty. The other enjoys reading, walking in nature, praying, exercising, traveling, learning new skills, and building meaningful goals. Which one enters marriage from strength? The second, because they already have a fulfilling life. Their partner becomes a blessing, not a necessity. The healthiest soulmate. Relationships happen when two emotionally healthy individuals choose each other freely, not desperately, learning to enjoy your own company is one of the greatest gifts you can give your future marriage. In summary, peace attracts the love you are looking for. Carl Jung reminds us that the greatest love story begins within. When you stop chasing every thought, every fear, and every imagined rejection, something extraordinary happens. You become calmer, more confident, more emotionally available, and more attractive, not because you've changed for someone else, but because you've returned to yourself. The less you obsess over whether someone will choose you, the more energy you have to become the kind of person who is capable of building a joyful, lasting marriage. Your soulmate is not looking for someone consumed by anxiety. They are looking for someone who knows how to love with freedom, wisdom, and emotional maturity. The journey toward healthier soulmate love begins with a simple decision. Stop thinking too much about anyone and start investing deeply in becoming the best version of yourself. Now, let's explore other, more powerful Carl Jung-inspired principles for attracting soulmate love, building emotional intimacy, and creating a marriage that grows stronger with time. 6. Stop chasing people who are not choosing you. One of the greatest emotional traps is believing that if you love someone enough, they will eventually love you back. Many people spend months, even years, trying to convince someone to value them. They send longer messages, become more available, sacrifice their own happiness, and hope that one day the other person will finally recognize their worth. Carl Jung would encourage you to ask a different question. Instead of asking, "How can I make this person love me?" ask, "Why am I trying so hard to earn a love that should be freely given?" Healthy soulmate love is never built on persuasion. It is built on mutual willingness. Imagine walking through a beautiful forest. You notice two paths. One path is blocked by thick thorns. Every step scratches your skin. Every few meters, you trip over rocks. The second path is open, peaceful, and full of sunlight. Which path would you naturally choose? Yet many people do the opposite in relationships. They chase the path full of thorns while ignoring the one that offers peace. When someone repeatedly shows you they are emotionally unavailable, inconsistent, or unwilling to invest in the relationship, believe their actions. Love is not proven by how much pain you can tolerate. Love is shown by how two people consistently choose one another. The right person will not make you question your value every day. Your soulmate may not be perfect, but they will make room for you in their life. Marriage becomes strong when two hearts willingly walk toward each other, not when one spends years chasing the other. 7. Heal your inner wounds before they enter your marriage. Carl Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, It will direct your life, and you will call it fate. This wisdom is especially powerful in relationships. Many people believe they are choosing partners. In reality, they are often choosing familiar emotional patterns. Someone who grew up feeling ignored may unknowingly be attracted to emotionally distant partners. Someone who never felt secure may constantly fear abandonment. Someone who experienced criticism may become overly sensitive to every disagreement. These wounds do not disappear simply because we fall in love. Instead, they often become louder. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones. Every painful memory, every betrayal, every disappointment, every broken promise. Now imagine walking into marriage without ever putting that backpack down. Eventually, your spouse begins carrying the weight with you, not because they caused it, but because it was never healed. Carl Jung believed true transformation begins with honest self-reflection. Healing means asking difficult questions. What fears am I carrying? Why do I react so strongly? Why do I constantly need reassurance? Why do I fear rejection? Healing these hidden wounds allows you to love your future spouse without making them responsible for fixing your past. A fulfilling marriage begins long before the wedding day. It begins when you choose healing over denial. 8. Let love grow naturally. Don't force destiny. One of the hardest lessons in love is learning patience. We live in a world that wants everything immediately. Instant messages, instant answers, instant relationships. But meaningful love rarely grows that way. Carl Jung understood that nature follows its own timing. Think about an oak tree. It does not become strong in one season. It grows quietly. Its roots deepen before its branches rise. Storms strengthen it rather than destroy it. Relationships are much the same. Some people try to rush commitment because they fear being alone. Others ignore warning signs because they don't want to start over. But forcing a relationship is like trying to open a flower before it has bloomed. Instead of helping it grow, you damage it. Healthy soulmate love unfolds with trust, honesty, and patience. It allows both people time to truly know one another. Marriage should never be built on pressure. It should be built on confidence. The right relationship does not require endless forcing. It grows because both people continue watering it with kindness, respect, forgiveness, and consistent effort. 9. The greatest attraction is inner peace. Have you noticed how peaceful people seem magnetic? They do not constantly seek attention. They do not compete for validation. They carry quiet confidence. Carl Jung believed that inner harmony transforms how we experience the world. When you find peace within yourself, your relationships also change. Imagine two lakes. One is constantly disturbed by storms. The water is cloudy. Nothing can be clearly reflected. The other lake is calm. Its surface reflects the sky beautifully. Your heart works the same way. When your mind is full of fear, jealousy, insecurity, and overthinking, it becomes difficult to see relationships clearly. But when you cultivate peace, you recognize healthy love more easily. Peace helps you notice red flags without panic. Peace helps you communicate with kindness instead of anger. Peace helps you trust without becoming controlling. Your soulmate will not simply be attracted to your appearance. They will be drawn to your emotional stability. Because nothing feels safer than loving someone who has learned how to remain calm. Through life's challenges, one of the greatest gifts you can offer your future husband or wife is not perfection. It is peace. 10. True soulmate love begins when you become your true self. Perhaps Carl Jung's greatest contribution to psychology was his belief that every person has a unique purpose. He encouraged people to become authentic, instead of living according to fear or social expectations. Many relationships fail because people pretend to be someone they are not. They hide their opinions. They ignore their values. They sacrifice their dreams just to avoid losing someone. But pretending is exhausting. Eventually, the real person always appears. Imagine wearing a mask every single day. At first, it feels manageable. But after months or years, it becomes unbearable. Authenticity removes that mask. Your soulmate cannot truly love the real you if they have never met the real you. This is why becoming yourself is one of the greatest acts of preparation for marriage. When two authentic people meet, something beautiful happens. There is honesty. There is trust. There is emotional safety. There is freedom. Neither person needs to perform. Neither person needs to constantly prove their worth. Instead, they simply grow together. That is the kind of marriage that lasts through both joyful seasons and difficult ones. In conclusion, the person you are becoming will attract the love you deserve. Carl Jung reminds us that love is not simply about finding the right person. It is equally about becoming the right person. The more you overthink someone, the less attention you give to your own growth. But the moment you shift your focus inward, everything begins to change. You become stronger, kinder, wiser, more emotionally mature, more peaceful. And when that transformation happens, you stop chasing love out of fear. Instead, you welcome love from a place of abundance. Remember this: you cannot force someone to become your soulmate. You cannot overthink your way into a healthy marriage. You cannot build lasting love by abandoning yourself. The strongest relationships are created by two people who have learned to stand confidently on their own before choosing to walk through life together. So, today, release the habit of thinking too much about anyone. Protect your peace. Invest in your healing. Live your purpose. Become your authentic self. And trust that when the time is right, the person who truly belongs in your life will not only love your heart, they will also respect your mind, support your dreams, and choose you again and again. Because the healthiest soulmate love is never built on obsession. It is built on freedom, authenticity, mutual commitment, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your own worth. Dear, beautiful soul, again from the bottom of my heart, hope and wish you learn some wisdom from this lesson about don't overthink. about anyone else. Achieve healthier soulmate love. Introduction. The person who thinks about you the most should be. Wish that the wisdom from this lesson enables you connect deeply with your soulmate love. Because you deserve the best fulfilling relationships. Maybe you wish to share your wisdom or experience with us. Free to put it in the comment section. Let's continue inspiring and learning from each other. Together, we can build a community of people achieving happier and more fulfilling relationships and love. Kindly subscribe and support to keep more of such Soulmate Connect. Thanks for watching.